case you needed a napkin. We are live on the Technicolor.
It is? It's up?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, not live. We're taped.
Well, we're taped now, right? But it's going.
It's going.
All right. So then, from the landing strip in Houston, Texas, it's the 353rd edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Chris.
And thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like, log into your Google account, and if you want to interact with us or say something, give us any responses, drop a comment down below. Or if you want to check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio. We also have a Twitter at H Wrestling Radio, and the Instagram we use, but very, very, very sparingly.
Very sparingly.
Very sparingly, yes. But yeah, man, thank you so much. Chris, how you doing? All right, what was that for? I like high fives, but I don't know why I got
life, man.
It's just life?
Life's good.
All right.
I've seen worse, and I'm glad I'm nowhere near it.
You got your buttered styrofoam right here? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Roughnecks are 3-0, baby.
That's right. And they're going to Dallas this weekend.
Who else is going to Dallas?
I might be. I don't know if I am.
Hector?
I think I am. Hector? You got to come through with the product, Hector? Do you have the stuff? The tickets, I mean? I don't know. We'll see.
We didn't do a prediction show for Super Showdown because of the timing. Saudi Arabia, noon,
On a Thursday.
Yeah.
We record on Thursdays.
So in 5 minutes, I showed you everything that I thought you needed to know about Super Showdown.
Yep.
So you pick what you want to bitch about the most. Exhibit A. Undertaker defeating AJ Styles to win the Twig Mountain Tournament. Exhibit B. Brock Lesnar squashing Ricochet to retain the title. Or C. Goldberg somewhat squashing The Fiend to becoming the 2-time Universal Champion. Floor is yours.
I think I want to bitch about Goldberg. It's bad enough that at Mania you're going to have your Vince match with Brock. Now, okay, I shouldn't say match. I should say your Vince champion being Brock. Because him going up against Drew McIntyre is all right, in my opinion, right now. Do I think he's going to win? I don't know, but like I'm not going to put way too much stock into it because it's Brock Lesnar. Although I want to be excited for Drew. Okay, I'm going to temper my excitement because it's against Brock, right? Mm-hmm. So my hope is I'll get what I want as a mark and have the non-Vince match be the WWE title match where, we have The Fiend who's over as hell.
You mean the Universal title?
Yeah, Universal title. I'm sorry. I keep fucking that up. The Universal title, who has The Fiend, who is over as hell, who has a great gimmick, who's been repackaged in a really awesome way. They spent so much money with the fucking suit and the title and, well, not the suit, the mask, the title, and redoing the music, and it was pretty badass when we saw him at Minute Maid live and in person. That was pretty cool. And the way he's defeated everybody and taken everything from everybody, stomps and label locks and the finisher for pretty much everyone spammed 15 times.
Yeah.
But then you have Goldberg, who I don't want to hate on Goldberg. Goldberg's a good dude. He's cool. He's not like your regular wrestling, fucking snob kind of guy. He's just a dude who kind of fell into the business, who got pushed to the moon because he looked good. All right, cool. Like, I get it that you got your come up because of other people in the business, not because of you. And you're grateful for it and you're humble about it. Cool, man. You're good in my book. But I don't want to see you wrestle at WrestleMania in the other match when you're definitely the Vince pick. Now both title matches at Mania are the Vince pick. And it's like, damn. And at the cost of The Fiend, like, I'm kind of feeling the same way how I felt about Kofi. You know? Now,
One loss kills the entire momentum, kills the entire build. Your erection's gone.
Yeah.
And not even Blue Chew can help it.
Yeah. I mean, how many fucking curb stomps did he take? 14? And it took, whatever. And it took 4 spears and 1 jackhammer.
Ugly jackhammer.
Yeah. And it's like, to what end? So that Goldberg could be the champ? Are we going to have a rematch? I mean, the Fiend just kind of turned off the lights and then disappeared? What the fuck? So it's like, that the match with that stink I was hoping was gonna just be relegated to the Brock and Drew, and then let us have something cool with Fiend and who knows who. But now you're gonna have Goldberg versus maybe the Fiend again, but probably not. I don't know. And even if it is the Fiend again, so what?
I'm gonna try my best.
Yep.
To play devil's advocate here, because I've mentioned this several times on this humble little show.
Our humble little show.
That within 24 to 48 hours of any clip involving Goldberg from WWE television, it gets the most views on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. So as much as we, the minority, or we'll cast a bigger net. If the American audience in general is not a fan of Goldberg. Remember, it's world wrestling entertainment. Yeah. Where was this show at?
Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. So if the world wants to see a current Hall of Famer wrestle for the title in a rematch he never got when he lost the belt the last time, devil's advocate, you don't throw that kind of money away. If I'm wearing a suit and tie and I got the collar on and I got the WWE pin, I need to make money.
Yeah.
So I'd be looking a fool if I don't take equity in this.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not angry about it. I'm not even disappointed about it because I kind of felt like they would do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all could fantasy book and say, oh, I could predict the WrestleMania card from here to tomorrow. Oh, the WrestleMania card leaked 2 weeks ago on Reddit, just like last year and the year before that and the year before that. Let's fuck with these people. What do I like to do on this show? Let's fuck with some people. So let's change a couple of things.
Ding, where's Dingy?
I don't know.
No.
Let's change a couple of things. So a curveball in the moment, I can understand.
Yeah.
If this is a legit style, if you want to present this as a legit style fight, you know, the old washed up guy that's got one more fight in him against the guy that no one's been able to beat, even if with everything they had to give, and then find something else to give.
Yeah.
I can understand that. But that this isn't a real fight. This is episodic television that we've been watching at least for the past 6 months with the Fiend character. It dissolves everything that came before it. Can't take Bryan seriously, can't take Rollins seriously, can't take Balor seriously. Everything that happened to them, like you just said, how many thousands of curve stomps, you know, the yes kicks, the label locks.
Didn't he take a skull crushing finale and pop up?
Yeah.
Skull crushing finale was very protected.
Yeah. So it kind of like diminished all of that.
Yeah.
The only other thing I want to say in the defense of it is, are you aware that we're going to be here in this room again next Thursday?
We are?
Next week, we're previewing Elimination Chamber. They're having another fucking pay-per-view next week.
That's right.
So we could have the rematch next week. And all could be forgiven where the WrestleMania opponent for The Fiend knows that he has a weakness because it's been exploited and it's been documented and we've seen it. So if we do more of that, then maybe there's a way to actually beat this
What's
guy.
That weakness? 4 spears and a jackhammer?
Maybe. Or something. Okay. You know? Because from the beginning, all these matches with the Fiend versus D-Bry, versus The Miz, versus Seth Rollins, versus Finn Balor, they all try to like feel him out.
Mm-hmm.
Goldberg didn't feel him out. Ding, ding, bang! And from there, he kept going until the Fiend was just out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like the contra code to try to get under the Fiend's skin.
R.I.P.
So if Fiend gets the rematch again, they've been building so many matches for Super Showdown. What do we have for Elimination Chamber that's next fucking week?
The women's gauntlet match, right? Or women's
chamber.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
Exactly.
Okay.
We need more.
Good point.
If December to Dismember taught us anything, one match does not a pay-per-view make.
This is true.
Hey.
Hey.
So, man, I was more entertained by the backlash online. People call, like, for example, a lot of people have that same afraid of mind that you do where, hey, this character's done. It's over. Like, it's one loss. It's done. Done. Fuck this guy. Fuck WWE, you know? I'll give it, I'll leave the report card incomplete because at least they're making an effort to throw us a curveball as opposed to everything that we thought, January, I know what's going to happen. Now that the Royal Rumble's over, Drew's doing this, Bray's doing this, Roman's doing this, so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing this. So I'm curious to see how they climb out of the hole they dug out of, which is a deep hole to begin with because we both agree they gave the belt to Bray way too quick. So they already booked themselves in the corner with it.
True.
So the sooner
But all of these like reasons that you're stating why it should come off of Bray or Fiend or whatever, that he got it too soon, and yeah, it's okay, you could have a weakness and he could get it back, and no. All of that would be okay and more forgivable and more digestible if it wasn't Goldberg, who is past his prime, not somebody I want to see. Not somebody who I want to see consistently defending your main championship. Now, I don't want to see Goldberg all the time. If you're going to bring him back for those YouTube views that you referenced, great, bring him back. It doesn't necessarily have to be the title match. Have him fight The Undertaker in a gimmick.
Again?
Why not? Have him versus Roman in a gimmick.
Another devil's advocate says, you just said it. Would you rather see The Fiend lose the belt to Goldberg today or see The Fiend lose the belt to Roman at Mania?
Roman at Mania.
What?
Yes. The reason why is because Roman at Mania is an active wrestler right now in his prime. Yeah, sure, we may not like him, but if I have to choose between Goldberg or Roman, I'm going to choose Roman. I'm always going to want to choose the guy for the main championship as not the guy who's always there, but the guy who is in his prime and active. This title isn't the title of Lifetime Achievement Award. It's Actor of the Year. You know, it's Best Actor for this year, for 2019, 2020, whatever. It's not the Lifetime Achievement Award. Yes, have the legends come back so you get that jump in ratings. But do you have to give them the belt that basically signifies this is the best guy that we have right now in this modern day and age? No. Because Goldberg's not the best guy that you have right now in this modern day and age. Was he badass in the 90s? Fuck yeah. Badass at the turn of the century? Fuck yeah. Goldberg was great. Not now. Right now, he's old
Goldberg.
Guy.
He's Oldberg.
Yeah, he's Oldberg. I mean, again, that goes back to my fucking Michael Jordan analogy. I love Michael Jordan when he was winning the 6 rings. Michael Jordan on the Wizards, not so much. Michael Jordan gets in the fucking NBA right now, I'll be like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know? Like, I don't want to see that. And I don't think Michael Jordan right now at his age could outplay Harden. Could outplay fucking, I don't know. LeBron. Could outplay any of the guys that are in their prime now. Now, if you say Jordan in his prime versus LeBron in his prime, okay, now you have an argument. But that's only going to be in fantasy. Yeah. You can't take that fantasy. You can't take that fantasy and translate it into reality because it's simply never going to happen because of the way the math works out. And that's what you're doing here in wrestling. You're saying, man, Bray Wyatt as the Fiend in his prime versus Goldberg in his prime. Would that be great? Man, that'd be an awesome match to play on WWE 2K. Mm-hmm. But in real life,
you saw how Goldberg almost dropped Bray on his head like he did Taker.
Yeah, and that's not what you're actually getting. You're not getting Goldberg from 20 years ago versus The Fiend, or at Mania versus Roman, or, versus whoever he fucking winds up fighting, AJ Styles, whatever, whoever he fucking fights. It's not Goldberg in his prime from 20 years ago is Goldberg past his prime from right now. You know? So
what's second on your shit list?
The Brock stuff.
Okay.
Again, it's because of your current wrestlers. Now, do I think that Ricochet had a chance? No, I definitely didn't think Ricochet was going to win. But I also didn't think that it was just going to be so blatant. Jesus. Like the camera was turned away to the crowd when the bell rang and Ricochet tried to get in his one moment of offense. So they didn't even catch it on camera when Ricochet tried to come out of the gate. And then the rest was just Suplex City, F5, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's like, damn. Like, Kofi got more play. Maybe. Maybe not. But, I mean, still, it's like, damn, man, you have somebody who's on an upward trajectory that you could build to be the next cruiserweight that is overachieves, like Rey Mysterio.
Like Eddie Guerrero.
And more, yeah, Eddie Guerrero. Somebody that's the little guy that's not fucking Shorty G, that says, you know what, he could be going up against the big boys because he's just so talented. Corey was putting this over that Lesnar has a problem stylistically with shorter guys and the smaller guys and
quicker guys.
You know, the quicker guys, the smaller guys, and if that guy can out wrestle him, maybe he'll give Brock some fits or whatever, right? He was like putting it over how Ricochet could win it. Nah, all of that was just bullshit.
I think the my trimming of the fat as far as wrestling goes is already starting to take effect on the residuals, the aftermath. I remember the Raws that I was watching that I didn't think Ricochet was anywhere near the level or worthy of being in the ring with Brock. And watching him in the ring with Brock, even after the Rumble, the story with the Rumble understood. But you could have done that on a Raw. You didn't need to put this on Super Showdown at all. Like I didn't. Yeah. There was no. I didn't. If it lasted 10 seconds longer than it did, I would have checked out because I had no interest in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you do. I mean, it's a situation. We'll get into the last part of your shit list. Probably transitions to it where 363 days of the himself. Until like the last 2 days of that year where they're in Saudi Arabia, they don't even cater to Vince. They have to cater to whatever the Saudi people want. And if the Saudis want Lesnar,
the Saudi Prince
want Lesnar there, they're going to get him. Saudi Prince wants Goldberg there in the main event against The Fiend, they're going to get it. If the Saudi Prince wants Taker to win the tournament in a gauntlet match that he was never even advertised for, they're going to get it. And it's
if the Saudi Prince wants Shane McMahon to be the best in the world.
Yeah,
I mean, do you really think that's the booking decisions of the Saudi Prince?
I think a lot of it has to do with that.
Like who wins and loses? Because I mean, this is the same people that asked for Yokozuna.
And
Warrior, they're dead.
And Savage.
Yeah, like are they really that savvy to be making the booking decisions? I mean, maybe not. I mean, yes, they might request, hey, I'd like to see The Undertaker. But did they say, I want to see The Undertaker come out at the end of a gauntlet match and defeat AJ Styles in this fashion? Do you think he said that? I don't think he did.
Here's the counter. Do you think we would have these matches if this pay-per-view was here in the States?
Not particularly, no. But I also don't think that was going to be booked the same way either.
Undertaker's fun. His entrance and his exit lasted longer than whatever he did in the ring.
Right.
If the news with the Z is any indication, I'm kind of hopeful of what they can do with this because there's a rumor going about that WrestleMania is going to be the OC 3-on-2 handicap. AJ Styles, Gallows, and Anderson against The Undertaker teaming with Aleister Black.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Kane.
That and possibly Sting, maybe a 6-man tag. Now Like that's like,
And-
I'm not too much in like, oh man, they're bringing back Goldberg. Oh man, they're bringing back Hogan. No, when you bring back somebody that's purpose is to put over the next generation, then you got my attention. As much as he wasn't as good in his last couple of years in WWE, I marked the fuck out for Chris Jericho when he showed up on WWE because he put over Ambrose, he put over Kevin Owens, he put over Bray Wyatt, he put over a bunch of people. And even when he was while he was there,
matches doing it.
and while he was there, he was always changing up his character to where the light up jacket, the scarf, the stupid idiot, the list, always something, you know. And so Goldberg coming to beat the Fiend, if this is all we're getting, I'm not happy with it.
Again, it goes back to what is it for?
Yeah.
That's
why I'm hoping next week they change it.
The reason why this is the lowest thing on my shit list is because this is for the Twake fucking Mountain Championship Cup
trophy.
Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. When is the last time we saw that green title belt for that Braun one for the greatest Royal Rumble of all time or whatever? When do we see
best
any
in the world?
But yeah, no, it doesn't mean anything.
And there's like 8 or 9 mountains like that, so maybe next in Crown Jewel there'll be a different trophy for another mountain.
And the news with the Z saying that we're gonna have the OC versus Taker and Alistair or Kane or Sting or whoever. Great. I'd rather have that than have these dudes that are coming back to be in the title picture. Yeah. Have it as a gimmick match. Have it as a fantasy match that you can't really have because of the thing that I was talking about who's in their prime and not in their prime. But yeah, sure, do that as a gimmick outside of the fucking championship, outside of the main event. Have it as an attraction. Okay, great. AJ Styles doesn't have an actual championship match. That's fine. He's still a top draw. Have him with the Undertaker. Sure. Why the fuck not? But God damn it, the title belt. Like, dude, come on, man. Like, no. Can you imagine if this shit was going on in the 80s or the 90s, where we had The Rock and Stone Cold fighting back and forth, and then all of a sudden, fucking Andre the Giant came back from the dead. And it's like, okay, well, Andre the Giant has a title shot.
Oh shit, Macho Man!
And Andre the Giant beat the shit out of fucking Stone Cold, and now he's the champion. Why? Because Andre the Giant's Andre the Giant. Like, what the fuck?
San Martino returns and beats The Rock.
Yeah. Or like even in the 80s, where you have Macho and Hogan. Macho and Hogan never fucking jobbed out to San Martino. Maybe you can make an argument with Bob Backlund and Bret Hart.
I was about to say that.
Maybe you can. But Bob Backlund, you know what he did? He fucking earned it. And he didn't do it in a squash match.
And he put over Diesel.
Yeah.
That 8-second loss at MSG when he gave the title up. Now that's how it's done.
And he also was just not coming back squashing the current day talent of the time. Mm-hmm. So I think I have precedent about my bitching here. Yeah. The only time that it was done was Bob Backlund, and it was done with a little bit more care. You didn't bury your current day performers. And I think, again, this is more of a symptom of a larger ailment. And that larger ailment is, for whatever reason, since the end of the Attitude Era, that going into the Ruthless Aggression era, you only had one, being Cena. You haven't been able to make your own stars. You haven't. So if you want to say, well, we need to put it on Goldberg, brother, because of the ratings. So it's like, well, okay, if you have built Fiend good enough, if you built Roman good enough, if you built Drew and Seth, all them good enough, you won't need to rely on the crutch of your part-timers, your past-timers, your has-beens to come back to give you that boost, because you didn't need to do the same thing with Macho and Hogan. You didn't need to do the same thing with Brett and Shawn. You didn't need to do the same thing with Rock and Stone Cold.
So we're going to finish the news segment with another downer.
Wait, this was all news?
Yeah. Well, it was on headlines, I guess.
Okay.
New Japan Cup 2020 20.
Oh, great. What is this? What's going on here?
Just wet the whistle a little.
All right.
Ibushi against Saber, round 1.
Ah.
Osprey Takagi 2.
Ay, papa.
Yuji Nagata, former heavyweight champ, against Minoru Suzuki.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Bad Luck Fale against Boom Boom Colt Cabana
Oh, shit.
in the first round. Your favorite G White Okada Kazuchika, round 1. Which one do you want to see first? It doesn't matter which one you want to see first, because you're not.
Why?
You know why you're not?
Why?
New Japan's canceled everything in March because of the coronavirus.
So that's not happening?
So far, I haven't heard anything of rescheduling, but right now, every New Japan show that was scheduled from now till towards the end of March, and that includes the several nights of the first round of the New Japan Cup.
All right, Chris, forgive my ignorance. But last time I checked, which was maybe about a week ago, or maybe a little bit longer than that, last time I checked, the coronavirus was mostly in China. And the last time I checked, Japan's a whole different country. What the fuck's happening?
Breakout, bro.
Is it spreading?
It's already here.
It's here?
Yeah. It's about to be worldwide almost. Yeah. It's a big fucking deal.
Are people dying?
Yeah.
Or are they just getting sick?
No, we've had casualties already.
They're dying?
Yeah.
What's the mortality rate on this thing?
I don't know. It's only been a couple weeks.
Well, if 10 people catch it, are all 10 of those motherfuckers dead? Or 5? Is it just 1?
No, it's not just 1. Problem is, there's not a cure for this right now.
Nice.
So, yeah. Same thing with SARS, same thing with Ebola, same thing with everything else. But in the meantime,
God damn it.
Zika.
Right?
Zika too.
Zika.
Not to mention, there was an alert earlier this morning that there are airlines that are starting to ban flights coming back into the States, which who's not in the country right now?
I don't know who.
Everyone that just showed up at Super Showdown.
Oh, fuck. You're right.
Yeah, so it's the situation's getting a bit hairy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be another one of those situations where Friday Night SmackDown could be must-see because we don't, other than John Cena.
Didn't they get stuck out there the last time?
Yeah, it was an NXT takeover. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But, man, New Japan Cup, the winner normally gets a title shot.
Yeah.
The anniversary show, which was going to be main evented by Chaos on Chaos Crime. Naito against Takahashi. That's scrapped also. So I don't know if it's gonna get rescheduled or not. Shit, they might even just straight up cancel the Olympics if it gets that bad. And it's supposed to be in Tokyo.
The Olympics are in Tokyo.
Yeah, that's why the G1 Climax this year is in October because the Olympics are during July and August. So they moved that, and Wrestle Dynasty, the New Japan the American equivalent of Wrestle Kingdom, that's going to be at Madison Square Garden. That's why it's happening in August because they have all that free time because they don't have the fucking G1.
But it may not happen.
But it might not happen depending on how far this goes. Shit.
Damn.
Paranoia, man.
I mean, is it that bad?
It could be.
Should I be worried?
There's been.
Do I need to start wearing masks?
There's been several articles about people buying masks, people loading up on food, businesses looking into the possibility of possibly working from home for a while because they're going full blown on this. It's apparently a thing.
Oh shit!
A very big thing. While we record the podcast with my balcony window open,
wide open. You get all of that fucking South Houston air here too.
Yeah.
You get that sniff.
Jet fuel.
The jet fuel.
I've got months of sick time I need to burn through, bro.
Broken Maine. The wafting in the air.
Oh my God. Only in
main.
Houston that floods when there's no fucking rain.
Oh,
right?
I know. What the hell, dude?
Oh man. I came home. First thing I did turn on all the bus.
On the first fucking night of the fucking rodeo cook-off.
Oh, I know. Dude, trail riders are coming.
Yeah.
It's all that flooded water.
Oh, damn. Dude,
Houston.
I drove right past NRG coming over here tonight.
See?
Yeah.
Smells good.
Traffic was a bitch, but man, it smelled good.
No, they had a prequel, like a bites and something. It happened last Saturday or Sunday. I
Okay.
drove by getting lost for whatever reason. I ended up driving down 610. I saw that and I was like, just that waft
Yeah.
of like home cooked.
Of cooked meat. Ay,
I'm
smells good.
gonna see if I can sneak my way in there this weekend.
Possibly. Let me know. If I don't wind up in Dallas for the fucking Roughnecks game,
We'll need to do something.
yeah, we gotta figure something.
We always hungry.
I'm always hungry.
Takeover.
Always thirsty too.
Between last episode and today,
Yep.
we had a takeover, NXT takeover.
Okay.
We've had episodes of NXT. We've had episodes of AEW, some NWA, Raw, SmackDown, NXT UK. What's your match of the week?
I'll tell you this straight up. I did not watch NXT last night.
Okay.
I knew we were going to go over AEW, and I was running out of time. I watched AEW, then I went to bed. So I have not watched NXT this past week at NXT.
Okay. Do you have anything from Takeover that you want to nominate?
Smash of the week?
Yeah. If it's not your pick.
We didn't already talk about this?
No. The last time we sat here, we previewed Takeover. It's only
Man,
been 2 weeks.
dude, it's been too long, man. I don't even remember what the fuck happened on Takeover.
Lee successfully defeated Dijakovic.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then Dijakovic came out on the following week's NXT. Is like, I can't quit you, and asked for another match. Yeah,
Bro, that's where they lost me.
Yeah.
The one chant that I hate the most in professional wrestling is fight forever.
Really?
And now they're turning that into a feud. Like Lee Dijakovic has to keep going forever. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm a better this way. It's done. Like, you've already had 5 matches. It's okay. You can see other people. Yeah. So, my match of the night.
Chris's romantic life right there.
Yeah.
After 5 sessions. Hey, we gotta see another one.
People got knocked out in the first section. I'll start with my match of the night from Takeover was definitely Lee versus Dijakovic.
Okay.
That opened. It opened.
That was really good.
And it was clean.
I don't know, man. Ciampa
Cole
was
the
good.
finish though.
No, you don't like the finish?
Again, I don't want to see
Ciampa and Gargano picking up where they left off
with the roles reversed.
Yeah,
because Ciampa really isn't a good face, and Gargano really isn't a good heel.
I could buy that. Okay,
so that's why I don't want to see that.
There.
I really wanted to give love and possibly make my match of the week Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. No, I'm sorry, not that one. Tegan Nox against Dakota Kai. Holy fuck, that street fight.
Yeah.
And then Reina came in, Raquel or whatever they want to call her now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't know. That really made me go limp as well.
Broserweights and Undisputed was great, but after a while I was hoping it would end and it didn't. Fatigue started to set in a bit.
And I kind of don't really want to see the Broserweights win it.
Yeah.
I didn't like. I mean, they were cool as like winning the Dusty Classic, and they had a good chemistry. But I don't think I want a longevity out of them.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I'm entertained when I see them.
I would have had.
the vignettes.
I would have had the Broserweights lose, and then I would continue the next like 2 to 3 months of Riddle like begging Pete Dunne for one more match so that they can get a rematch and then win it. More vignettes, more comedy, more showing them as a team trying to bond before it just felt too formulaic. Oh, we just ran them together because Dusty Rhodes like to have match teams like that, and we're gonna make them win every year like Finn and Joe and fucking all that other shit.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
does he like mismatch tag teams?
He liked just putting teams together to see if they worked.
Really?
Yeah.
That's that. Okay, I didn't realize that was the legacy.
And now it just felt too formulaic.
Yeah. Okay.
And Lee Dijakovic might be my match of the night. There might have been better stuff, but the finish is no.
Okay, I could see that. I could agree with you there.
I wanted to get that out of the way with NXT because I didn't want this to be so fucking like AEW.
Yeah.
But I was in person for the Cody versus Wardlow cage match in Atlanta.
Yes.
I hadn't felt emotion like that since Cody Dustin.
Okay.
You know, the story. We're building, because this isn't even the peak of the mountain.
It's
We're still like on one of the checkpoints before we get to the top of the mountain. You know, but it was very straightforward. Unproven big guy against the little guy that has something to prove in order to move on to the next boss in the Mega Man. And the story was told very well, very classic 80s old school. Not to be derogatory, it felt like an old school Hulk Hogan match. Wardlow never left his feet until the very, very end. Every time Cody came up with a little bit of a comeback, Wardlow took him down and then beat him on some more. And then Cody, oh, here comes another little flurry, and then right back down again. Cody finally gets that flurry, gets the ring from MJF, pops Wardlow in the face, hits him with the fucking crossroads. It still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Now you prove Wardlow's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Now you've got the crowd in your hands. You're selling it like, I gave this motherfucker everything. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And then the one negative that I always have that they turn into a positive, because I was invested in the match. I had emotional attachment to the match. Cody hit him with everything, even his finisher. Cody had to go to the top of that cage.
Oh, yeah. That's something you haven't.
And he didn't stand there to soak up the moment, to get the adulation, to get fired up. He knew time was of the fucking essence. He got up there, and as soon as he got up there, he got off.
Hi.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Now MJF is fudiddly-ucked.
Yeah?
That was my match of the week pick.
Okay.
Then last night happened.
Okay.
You know, you see how NXT is always leaving with a black eye?
Uh-huh.
Because AEW starts strong. No one in that arena, when you see the reaction of the announcer going, the first contest of the night, 30-minute Iron Man, everyone lost their shit. Nobody in those front 3 or 4 rows on the floor sat down.
Yeah.
Man, you could see the back of Kenny Omega's back. You could see the bruises on Pac's chest. They were hitting themselves with shit that even I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
Pac's heelish ways to try to beat the shit out of Omega.
Falcon arrow off the apron to the floor.
That sound was inhuman, dude. Ugh. Probably the most original way of getting a referee knocked out.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like the fact that we had Aubrey come in, you know, and like
and that's another aspect. All right, we need a new ref. Yeah. This guy's dead. He's earned his overtime. Let's bring in another one. We got more.
Well, here's something else I liked about the match. There was that classic heel in an Iron Man match type of trope where it's like, well, I'm going to use a weapon, get disqualified, but at least I'll have the upper hand, so I'll get another point and maybe 2 later. But that usually gets fucked up because sometimes they don't make it explicit that after a fall, there has to be a break.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of fucked himself, but maybe he didn't fuck himself. And we'll see how that actually plays out. And instead of like, 30 seconds, I'm alive, let's wrestle again. It was like 30 seconds, yeah, wait, I'm still not ready, you know? And then he got his other point after that, which was good. So
there was a point where Kenny ran up to Pac and Pac kicked him, and Kenny ended up at the other end of the turnbuckle. And Pac is like, he's not walking straight. He's like, and goes right back. Dude, I'm torn.
I also like the score. I'm glad that it wasn't 0-1.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm torn because it reminds me of Double or Nothing. I want to put the Cody and the Wardlow match because of the story, the straight up story. Even though this isn't even the end, we needed this to happen the way it did in Atlanta, in his where his dad made his history.
Yeah,
you know, a couple of blocks down on Baker Street. For the story, Cody and Wardlow's my match of the week. For the fucking wrestling, for the brutality, for the spots, for the seamlessness of it. I ignored the clock after about 10 minutes. It didn't feel like 35 minutes when all that, everything happened. Just as a pure wrestling match, it's Kenny and Pac.
Well, did you also mention when you were going back and forth on there the fact that your opponents at the pay-per-view are still in your corner for that match?
And the light bulb going off on Shivani that, hey, you know what? I think this is benefiting the Bucks more than anybody. Dude, this was the first time that I felt like all three of them on commentary were where they needed to be.
Yeah.
Excalibur was for the new fans. Tony Schiavone was for the fans that used to like wrestling back in the day. And JR is just for those hardcores that just want to cut through the bullshit.
Yeah.
And all three of them, dude, I'm torn, man. Those are both my match of the weeks. My matches of the week.
You don't have to be torn. The Iron Man match was match of the week.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. You're wrong on the other one.
Okay.
No,
Maybe it was something different because, dude,
yeah.
in the moment you could feel it,
and you were there.
Yeah,
bitch. So I didn't feel that emotional with this match. I was thoroughly behind Cody the entire time, and I never thought Cody was gonna lose. Because the way the story is, this is a bump in the road to get to MJF.
Yeah.
So of course Cody's gonna.
So
win.
you're saving your load for MJF and Cody.
I mean, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But was it brutal? Was it a good showing for Wardlow? It was. I don't feel like it. I wasn't that invested in it because I kind of knew what was going to happen. I was kind of waiting for Cody to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did Wardlow look good? Fuck yes, Wardlow did, which was all great. It was great elements, but for it to be, oh my God, epic, nah.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah,
I get you. This for me, this whole it's weird because this happened in November, bro. MJF turned on Cody in November. We're in the end of February, and we're about to get the first match.
Really? It's been that long? November? This isn't starting like January?
Full gear, dude. November.
Oh, shit. It doesn't feel like that.
The bill exactly.
Like
they're taking their time. They're pacing it.
Yeah.
Everything up to this point feels like the Marvel movies leading up to Infinity War.
Okay.
So I'm expecting this Saturday for MJF to snap his fingers and beat Cody and have this go on. We'll talk about the pay-per-view in a little bit. But that's why I was so like in awe of the match of the cage match being their first cage match because dude, I can't pick a flaw in that thing.
I don't know why it didn't strike me. It didn't occur to me. Maybe I just missed the commentary, but I didn't realize that, oh yeah, it's Atlanta. Oh yeah, it's a cage match. Oh yeah, it's Cody and Dusty and WCW and all that shit. Like I didn't put those dots together. Maybe that's my fault. But I didn't put those dots together.
That's fine.
So
that's fine. I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Yeah.
What?
Ah, fuck. So Pac versus Kenny Omega 30-man Iron Man match. Match of the year, yes or no?
1, 2, 3. Oh, dude. I hope the video caught that because we just went. But for anybody that missed that, we have our first match on HWR's Match of the Year list.
This is the first one for this year?
Yes.
Wow.
This is our first one. You know, we never went back about that Keith Lee Dijakovic match from NXT TV.
We don't need to. We just watched another one.
Yeah. So Pac and Omega.
I mean, Keith Lee versus Dijakovic at TakeOver was pretty darn good. Really darn good.
I'm sorry, Lee versus Strong from NXT TV.
Oh,
we never went back to that. Well, by the way, they're having that next week in a cage.
Orale.
Not to mention, they're having another cage match.
In a cage.
Yeah, Dakota Kai against Tegan Knox. So NXT Lockdown.
Is that what they're calling it?
No.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay.
But
speaking of TNA, since you invoked the name, Tessa Blanchard will be defending the TNA Heavyweight Championship, not the Women's Championship, the TNA Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, I heard about this.
Versus Taya Valkyrie.
For the first time ever, 2 women are going to be wrestling for a male title.
Yeah.
For a male-specific title. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I heard about this yesterday. Yeah. I'm going to make the effort to watch.
Okay.
In one way or another. Yeah, Tuesday. I'm watching that.
Okay.
I'm curious to see how. I haven't even read spoilers of the Impact stuff that's been going on since Hard to Kill. So I'm like, it's gonna be fresh to me.
Okay.
But I'm interested, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While I finish typing this, I'll save this for a little bit. Let's get into the pay-per-view. Pac against Orange Cassidy.
Anticipation level. I'm gonna go with a generous 6.
Okay.
Okay. The reason why I say that's a generous 6 is because
You're more of an apple juice guy?
no, I love Orange Cassidy. But I love his gimmick. I don't necessarily love his wrestling because I haven't really seen what a Orange Cassidy can do in an AEW ring. Yes, I did go back and do a little bit of research and see some of the stuff that he did in other independent promotions where he came from.
Mm-hmm.
But is that going to be the same Orange Cassidy that we see now? And I don't know. So my anticipation level is a little bit lowered for that because all we've seen out of Freshly Squeezed is he's just the comedy. In other federations, he's comedy because he'll put his hands in his pockets and he'll do the little bullshit kicks, but to kind of lull you into a false sense of security and then really whoop your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're actually going to do that on AEW TV, especially against Pac, because Pac, they're kind of pushing him. They're pushing him as one of the top heels. He's not MJF as the top heel, but he's getting there. So I'm pretty sure Pac's going to win against what is, as far as what AEW booking is concerned, is a comedy guy. So it may be a squash and then that's it. Mm-hmm. Orange puts his hands in his pockets, tries to do a dive, and Pac's like, fuck this bullshit, and he just like murders him. So my prediction, Pac is winning. I'm at a 6. Can my anticipation level be proven to be wrong and it exceeded my expectations? Maybe. But I'm gonna let the match exceed my expectations. I'm gonna have low expectations on this. That's what I'm saying. It's a generous 6.
I'm gonna lean more towards a 7.
Okay.
Because I think it's time. I think there's been enough detractors that have been waiting for something to happen with this gimmick that we need to see the evolution of the gimmick. And we already know what it is because we've seen the videos. A couple of days ago, I went back with a friend and saw some of the Orange Cassidy's highlights on YouTube. And once the glasses come off, he's a completely different guy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen any of this stuff. So, like, the Great Muta has the green mist, right? And Asuka has the red mist. Orange Cassidy has orange mist. So he'll have like a little bottle of, he'll have a bottle like this, bro, of Simply Orange.
Yeah. And
he'll drink it and he'll turn around and spit it at them.
I haven't seen that clip. That's awesome.
So I'm like, and then the bit with Tony Schiavone and the glass, dude, I'm at an 8, man.
Okay. You're not at a 7 now. You're
I'm at an 8. Now I'm building myself up to an 8. Because I want to see. I think we've seen enough of Pac and AEW to know that he's the goods. He's legit.
Yeah.
He's badass. He's a motherfucker.
He's a bastard.
Yeah. How about for once, let's see him a little bit out of his comfort zone. Let's see what he does with a comic character like Orange Cassidy and see if he can still do the entertainment part of professional wrestling,
which we've seen out of him before.
Yeah.
Remember they were going to saddle him with the Mighty Mouse gimmick and they gave him a cape?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he can do it.
Mm-hmm. So I'm at an 8. I've definitely had Pac winning, but
dude,
I want to see Orange Cassidy actually do something. I want him to try.
All right. That's fair.
Jake Hager against Dustin Rhodes. Where are you at?
I'm going to go with the 7. It's a little unexpected, but I feel like I missed something, but it makes sense. So I feel embarrassed to say that I missed something because I just think I missed it. Because like, why? Okay, I get it, Cody, but Cody's not really feuding with the Inner Circle. But I get that they're the heels and Cody and Dustin are. So by proxy, Dustin's fighting for Cody, but Cody's not fighting against Jericho anymore. So it's kind of a leftover feud that maybe they just kind of forgot. Oh, I got beef with this rule too. Okay, and it's not against Jericho; it's against one of Jericho's crew. Okay, I mean, is the match going to be all right? It probably will.
You technically explained it pretty well. Because
Okay,
they're really technically after the Jericho match that Cody didn't technically lose. MJF threw the towel for him.
yeah.
So there's technically no reason for Dustin to be doing this feud. But Dustin still remembers that Jake Hager broke his fucking arm in that build
true.
up. So that's where the feud, where the fire's
that's
coming
where the
from.
beef is.
That's where the beef is.
Show me the beef.
Yeah, he broke his arm.
Okay.
So you know what happens when you break a Rhodes arm. Rhodes got to get that comeback.
Okay.
So I'm storyline wise. The story has actually pulled me in pretty good. I just don't want to kind of oversell it. I'm at a 7-2. Okay. You know, but dude, it wouldn't surprise me if they blow it out because, dude, it feels like Dustin's got a third wind or a fourth wind. He's like, he's in good shape, man. And I want to see, because the Jake Hager that we saw in Lucha Underground more or less was the same Jake Hager we saw in WWE.
Right.
I want to see and I don't want to sound stupid when I say this. I want to see a little bit of a Brock Lesnar. I want to see Jake MMA in this shit.
Okay.
He's undefeated. Of course, he probably won't get another fight because his last fight he punched the dude in the balls more than once. But he's still undefeated as an MMA fighter.
How did he win that match?
It was by no contest. It was a no contest because it wasn't on purpose. But it just happened to be that way, and the fighter couldn't continue.
Oh,
so I want to see like an MMA side of Jake in this match against Dustin.
Motherfucker didn't wear a cup.
Well, this shit still hurts, son.
Okay.
Here, why don't you put this cup on?
You give me a smaller cup.
Let's try this. Here.
All right, papa.
I'm at a 7. I have Jake winning.
Okay. Just for shits and giggles, Dustin.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to win this one. It could be either or, but you got Jake, I got Dustin. Why not?
The Dark Order against SoCal Uncensored, Scorpio Sky, and Frankie Kazarian. What's your anticipation for this?
5.
You're
5. Dark Order.
Okay.
And I don't care. They've lost my interest. There was a lot of like up and down with the Dark Order stuff. Like it was just a weird gimmick for them to start off with, and then when they started to introducing, there's more to it. It's not just a silly gimmick where they have putties. There's a reason why there's putties, and that first couple of vignettes. Oh, okay.
Dark Order, the vignettes started to win me over a little bit,
but now I'm starting to revert back to where I'm not won over. They've lost me under a little bit because it's the same vignettes, but there's somebody behind it, and these vignettes are widespread throughout the city. Well, which city? Bitch, I ain't never seen anybody trying to recruit me for the Dark Order.
Yet.
Yeah, yet. But so where does this live? Does this live in fantasy or does this live in real world for wrestling? Because now they're trying to recruit wrestlers, but not other people, but they do recruit other people, but I've never really seen it. So it's like they're not really committing to the bit in the real world. They could have a real world guerrilla marketing type plan where they actually have fucking advertisements for the Dark Order on a billboard somewhere.
You could get there. You can go on the website and sell your soul to the Dark Order.
You could.
Scott did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
You can do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. But now it feels like there's way too much predictability with it's going to have something to do with Daniels. Either Daniels is already done converted or Daniels is the
exalted one.
The exalted one. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. You know, like one of those two things is going to happen. And I'm not really looking forward to it because I don't want to see SCU broken up. Okay. So I don't know.
I presented that I think a couple of episodes ago that I think Christopher Daniels is the leader.
Yeah.
And for the match, I'm at like a 5 also. I like the story, but I'm kind of the hillbilly in me that wants to go to a monster truck show just to see the crashes. I'm predicting that it is Daniels, and I want to see how if the AEW faithful will support the storyline. Because, man, people have been talking up, oh, dude, it's Brody Lee. Oh, shit, it's Matt Hardy. Oh, they said obsolete. It's fucking Jeff Hardy. Like, motherfuckers, y'all are building it up to a point that it's not appeasing y'all when it's not going to be AEW's fault that they didn't meet your expectations. It's your fault because you're fucking stupid. So, and y'all don't have a fucking company to run, so y'all can't do it yourself and prove me wrong. So I want to see if this backfires or how they play this.
Yeah.
If it's somebody else that's not even on my radar, but I'm curious to see where it goes.
There's a lot.
They haven't lost me yet, but dude, I'm just waiting for the people for like everybody that's been complaining about how shitty WWE is. Oh, the one thing that AEW does wrong. I want to see it.
You want to see it?
I want to see it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of marks out there that
They're
think AEW can't do no wrong.
Yeah,
but they've been doing a lot of wrong. For example, the Nightmare Collective. I've been mentioning for a long time. Okay, there's too many.
For example, the Dark Order.
There's too many groups.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to the Nightmare Collective? We're gonna sweep that shit under the rug.
No, they're still doing something.
What?
So I think on AEW Dark, Jimmy Havoc had a match with somebody, and the bald chick and Luther, the hardcore guy from Japan, showed up. So they might do something with Jimmy Havoc in them, and they might rebrand it as something else. Brandy's out. Okay. And Awesome Kong, I think she's injured and she's out too. So yeah, so they're still doing it, but they know when to cut bait. But so I'm curious to see how this Dark Order thing goes.
Okay.
But I'm sticking to it. My pick's Christopher Daniels. It's him.
Okay, who's winning the match?
Dark Order.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Dark Order. Sammy Guevara against Darby Allin.
I'm in a 9.
What's keeping you from the 2 digits?
I don't know.
Let me help you.
Okay. You're at a 10. Okay.
Corpus, Austin, Atlanta. People are fucking hungry for Darby Allin. Okay. That's the guy. Like, for everyone that complained that no one ever made, that WCW never made anybody until the very end that they made Goldberg, Darby Allin's fucking the man right now. People are eating that shit up.
Yeah.
And he soaked up the Sammy Guevara power, and now he's doing his own cue cards.
That's
fuck, dude. And it's cool to see 2 young guys. This is the Cena Orton from 2005. That in 2012, 2013, they're going to run shop. Dude, 5 years from now, we're going to see the same match on another level for gold. These 2 guys, this is exhibit A and B of the future of this company. And I'm all fucking for it. And it doesn't hurt that Sammy's our hometown boy.
That doesn't hurt either.
So gear how everyone in the inner circle was going to have some kind of rivalry to make it all interesting. But I feel like out of everything, and it's happened so quickly, but because they're both polarizing, like they get reactions, I feel like this has as much steam for me as fucking Jericho and Moxley. Because people are hungry for it, dude. The presentations, again, I don't want to piss people off. They do remind me kind of our version of The Rock and Stone Cold before they made it to that level. Stone Cold was straight and narrow. Right. Stone Cold was straight and narrow. And The Rock was the charismatic one. Sammy Guevara just oozes it, bro. Like he looks like he just gets all the attention, all the love, all the pussy. And Darby Allin, you line up 100 guys and you put Darby Allin in the middle, you'll be looking like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
that's exactly it, bro.
They both stand out.
They both stand out
for opposite
reasons. What they do.
Yeah,
and they're equally as entertaining to me.
Yeah,
So I'm at a 10 for this.
And I all the character stuff that you just mentioned is true. Also, the story itself, man. The skateboard to the throat.
Yeah.
The skateboard to the throat fucking sold me right there. Yeah. That was cool. That was a cool move, innovative, and it was believable. So yeah, and then I think the follow-up to it made that look even better in the fact that Darby couldn't talk. He cut promos without speaking There was the little video one
The
where
blowtorch to Jericho.
yeah, like the off-site stuff. And then when he was on site, the picture-in-picture fucking cue cards where he was mocking Sammy
And drawing. Dude, his art
Yeah.
on some of those cue cards are legit.
Yeah, like dude, that was fucking cool. And he still hasn't spoken a word. So is his throat all right? I don't know.
Or maybe that's the character now. That's our Sting.
Maybe. I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah.
Now, law of reverse momentum, I will invoke that here. Darby got a skateboard right upside the head and was laid out, even though he spray painted Sammy's name on that skateboard, and that skateboard was broken above his own damn head. So, law of reverse momentum, Darby's winning.
Answer the question. What's keeping you from a 10? You said you didn't know, and then we waxed for a bit.
We did.
So.
We did. I'm gonna bump it up to a 9.5. I'll tell you what's keeping.
Still okay. So
I'll tell you what's keeping me.
Okay.
Importance and significance on the card.
I feel you. Okay.
It's a great undercard story. It's not the main title. It's not the main event players.
It could fucking be a show stealer.
It could be a show stealer, but it's, let's be honest, for the mid-carders, the up-and-comers.
Gotcha.
Now, you're right. This could be The Rock and Stone Cold in 2002. Not The Rock and Stone, or excuse me, 2002. Like
1999.
99.
97. 97.
97.
There you go.
Not
97.
2002, where they're already established.
Yeah.
This is before WrestleMania 17.
Before 15.
Before 15. This is before then. So they're still fighting it out for the Intercontinental Championship, and not even the Intercontinental Championship yet.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's for just a grudge match. But then maybe they'll do whatever the mid card title will be for AEW. Yeah. Then they might do it for the actual main event title. Okay, great. For right now, it's just a nice little angle with two good up and comers. Mm-hmm. And that also gives me room to be wowed if the match comes out to be a 10. Set your expectations low, fellas.
9.5 is very low.
Yeah.
Who you got winning?
It's hung low. I said law of reverse momentum.
Oh, you got Sammy? I mean, you got Darby?
I got Darby winning.
I got Darby winning.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to make this easy.
10.
Cody versus MJF.
10.
Do I need to explain?
10.
Do I need
10.
What do we need to say?
It's 10.
Who you got winning?
MJF.
So do I. I want this to keep going. It's weird because I complained that we've already had Lee and Dijakovic 6 times, but that's happened in the span of like 2 months already.
Yeah.
And
it may be longer than that.
A little bit.
It's probably longer.
But we've been predisposed to WWE storytelling because their core audience has the attention span of a rabbit. So you need to remind them over and over and over again. Us old folk, AEW's taking their time. They're letting everything marinate. They're letting you
light the candles. Put down the rose petals.
Mm-hmm. Break out the hot Cheetos. The essentials. The essentials.
Get a nice little glass of pickle juice.
Lick off the blue cheese, baby. God. You lick off the blue cheese of me, I'll lick the A1 off of you. Fuck, dude. I've got MJF winning this. I want this to continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I share the same view. I don't know if I share the same view of I want this to continue. I think I'm of the view of that it's probably going to continue just to piss everybody off because they've made Cody look so strong and overcoming everything. So at the very end, reverse momentum. Yeah, you're going to give it to MJF. MJF is going to come out on top despite all the shit he put Cody through and all the shit Cody overcame. So it's not because I want to see it more, but more like, oh, I bet you that's going to happen. Those fucking motherfuckers. Oh, goddamn. And I'll like it. Yeah. I will like it. Mm-hmm. If it never happens again, okay, great. Will it happen again? Will it continue? It probably will. Yeah. But I've arrived at the same answer as you, but for different reasons.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Did you catch the promo on last night's Dynamite with Jim Ross
and the Bucks and the other 2 elite members? Do they have a team name?
No, it's Kenny Omega
and Hangman
Adam Page.
Okay, they need a team name, don't they?
You know,
I mean, maybe they don't.
I've read a lot of books, I've seen a lot of documentaries about wrestlers saying, you know, you've made it when you've heard fucking Tony Chimmel or the Fink say your name when you come out to the ring. You know, I bet they were marking the fuck out inside, knowing they made it, having Jim Ross in between fucking the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and the ROH jobber. I was at about a 9 after that promo.
10?
There's gonna be some shady shit going on, dude. Something I hope it's not in this match, but I think the roof's about to cave in on this House of Cards, dude. It's already like, all right, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but it's not 5 o'clock all the time. And it's something's gonna come between Omega and Hangman, and I think the Young Bucks just did it by saying that Hangman was never on the level of those three and all that shit, and fucking calling out the alcoholism, and you know, well, I'm out of a drink, so I'm gone. You know, I was like, fuck. The complaint about I just want to see Orton not good, not bad, but interesting. To an extent, I kind of agreed with the Young Bucks because Paige is a nice guy. We met him before. We interviewed him for the show. When we saw him in Ring of Honor,
yeah,
his stuff with the Bullet Club,
of the Decade, right? That was the group he was
something
in.
like that.
The Decade was like the third tier group in ROW, and he was like ROH, and he was like the third tier guy in that group.
Bullet Club,
yeah,
you know. But Hangman, when he became Hangman, started bringing the news.
With the Elite,
did the cowboy stuff.
Cowboy shit, I believe.
That was then. That was still New Japan. That was still Ring of Honor. He was finding himself.
Okay.
Now, cowboy shit. Now he's got something that to hook him. Now he has something that the fans can relate to. Oh, this motherfucker drinks beer just like me. Oh, he's right there, bro. Take a hit. Oh man, it's over, man.
Yeah,
that he's a brand new star, another star that AEW is making from the ground up. You know, they just needed that extra little something
from the ground up.
Well, they needed an extra something.
Yeah,
because as of before that, what did you think of Adam Cole? I mean, Adam Page.
I always thought he was the second Adam.
Yeah,
Adam Cole was the right Adam.
Adam Page right now with his character, with the fans liking him.
Yeah.
Do you think he could have beaten Jericho to be the first heavyweight champion?
At the time, yes. And at the time, I thought he should have beat Jericho. But also at the time, I thought that it should have been somebody other than Hangman in that match. But
Hangman didn't have everything.
No.
I think now he has everything.
No.
He's closer to it.
He's closer.
He's a lot closer.
He's closer. Yeah.
The story's got me, man. I'm hooked. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for the explosion of the whole Elite and Cody now that they're bosses and they're like presidents and VPs or whatever, but they still have they still business. They still have to work. But how is that business and personal going to start conflicting with each other and start rifting them apart? Dude, I'm at a 10 for this. Something's going to happen. I'm curious what side it comes from.
I'm at a 9, and I'll tell you what's keeping me. I can't help but have flashbacks to the Bucks versus the Golden Lovers, where it's Kenny, who's always going to be friends with the Bucks. They're in it together. They're in the Elite and this and that. But he has a tag team partner that he really cares for. That's his friend too. But the Bucks are kind of jealous and they're going back and forth with that. Like, it feels like a fucking cookie cutter storyline from what we saw 2 years ago, except trade out Ibushi for Hangman.
Did it work before?
It did. That storyline was good. But you're just slapping some new paint on a same storyline you just did. And that's not sitting with me quite the right way.
It's funny because I never thought about it that way until you just mentioned it.
Right now?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I don't see it from that perspective.
Okay.
Because I've been a fan of the Bucks and I've seen enough of Kenny and I've seen enough of the Bucks. I think the thing that I'm gravitating towards more is the evolution of this new character of Paige.
Okay.
He's standing out. Kenny Omega, there's nothing different about Kenny.
Nope.
Right now, there's nothing different about the Bucks.
Nope.
Right now, everything is circling around the person you least expect. You would think all the acumen that the Young Bucks have done. You would think the match of the years that Kenny Omega's had. No, right now everybody's looking at Adam Page,
and then,
so that's why it's a good point you made. It's just funny that I never saw it that way.
Well, you are right in the fact that storyline, Bucks versus Golden Lovers, that storyline was all about the conflict internally that Kenny Omega had. This storyline is all about the conflict internally that the Elite as a group and more so Hangman is having, because Hangman is turning to alcoholism.
Not just that, he specifically wanted out of the Elite because he wanted to carve his own path.
And they
brought it all the way back around to him being tag champs with one of the guys he wanted to be away from.
You have to be our friend. What? Fuck you. You know, like, yeah, I kind of
This was just supposed to be a booty call. Now you gave me this.
Yeah, but it's still, I still can't help but just see those parallels. And until I see something that divorces in my mind completely 100%, okay, this is really, really different, then I'm going to just keep looking at it with those same kind of tinted glasses there. If Kenny and Hangman win, and Kenny and Hangman are like, hey, man, let's hug it out, bro. And
this is what makes them the team.
It's me and you. Forget about them. It's about me and you, man. And, you know, we'll still be their friends and everything's hunky-dory after they beat the Bucks and the Bucks get put in their place. Then no, it's way too much like Bucks versus Golden Lovers. But if it does turn out where it's like, you know what? Hangman says, I lost the titles. Fuck you, Kenny. Fuck you, Bucks. I'm going out on my own. Then it's different enough. Then if Kenny or the Bucks want to reconcile with him, maybe it's the Bucks and not Kenny, because Kenny was like, well, I did this shit last time with Coda and y'all didn't have my back. So you know
y'all
what?
handle it.
You go ahead and handle him. I'm walking away. And that's another twist. That's different. It all depends on the outcome for me.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what's your outcome?
Bucks win. One of the Bucks pins Hangman. And Kenny is, okay, all right, we lost. And then one of the Bucks is like way too overzealous in the fact that, yeah, I told you, whatever, in your face, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when shit really starts to hit the fan.
I have a different take.
Yes, please.
I've got Omega and Hangman retaining. More specifically, I have Hangman retaining. They're going to split, but Hangman's going to keep both the titles. So, like, it's going to – you remember Austin versus Undertaker when they won the tag titles in 98 and they were, like, reluctant tag team champions, you know, and one of them was holding the belt and keeping it from the other one. There's going to be that inter-team friction between them, but they're still champions.
I'm the tag team champions.
There you go.
I'm the tag team champions.
There you go. We're going to –
not
comedy.
Not comedy.
Not comedy.
Not comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, it could.
I can't be a tag team champion with an alcoholic. Well, I can't be a tag team champion with someone that doesn't respect my fucking choices, motherfucker.
Well, I can't be a tag team champion with a fucking asshole.
There you go. That too. I can't be champion with a fucking lightweight. You need to keep up.
Or that could just be where they are, where Hangman could be like, you forced me to stay into the Elite. And then he winds up winning, like how you say. And it's like, well, you know what, Kenny? I'm forcing you to be tag champs with me because we're tag champs, because I carry this team. I win this team. I don't care about you. You're the weak link. But you know what? Let's see how you like it. You have to be my partner because I'm keeping this belt. Oh, fuck. That could be good, man. Yeah.
Nyla Rose against Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's Championship.
9.
Whoa.
9.
Whoa. Defend yourself.
I love Statlander. I love Statlander. Oh, God. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of development with her as a character, but she's a fucking character. And there's not really an angle other than she's a top-ranked woman, so she's going up against
Nyla,
the champ, Nyla. And I like Nyla. I like the controversy that it kind of created and how there's a lot of people that just aren't talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, fuck them. They're not talking about it. They're trying to sweep it under the rug. But you know what? She's the fucking champ. So she's the champ.
Fucking champ.
So
kudos to Jericho for standing up for her during the podcast.
Oh, I didn't know he did that.
He I think one of his recent podcasts is with Nyla. And there was a lot of fans commenting about how the situation with Nyla and Jericho is like, you stupid idiot. It's 2020. If you're not accepted, get the fuck back over there.
Yeah.
So
I think the match itself is going to be good. This is not going to be Nyla versus Rio, where Nyla's throwing Rio around.
Yeah, because
Statlander is probably just as tall as her, and she's muscular enough to where I think they could have a more even keel match. So I'm very interested to see the match. And there is a little bit of lack as far as angle goes.
Yeah,
but character, I love Statlander. I love Nyla. I want to see him have a good match. I think the match itself is going to be good. I'm interested to see, are they going to just pull the trigger and take it off of Nyla that quick? Are they going to give it to Statlander that quick? I don't know. My prediction is Nyla's going to retain, but I'm happy either way and a little surprised either way.
I'm at about an 8. It's hard because I'm invested in both of them. I like them both a lot. It's not a lack of story because you could always replace that with it's a real fight. Like it's the rankings because of the rankings. Every match means something.
Which is the whole reason why they have the fucking
every match.
System.
Every match means something.
So they'll never have that ROH problem where it's like, well, this guy's doing good and this guy's doing good. Let's throw them together. Yeah. You could always scoreboard, bitch. Yeah. I'm number 1 on the rankings. That's all you have to do.
5-match win streak. Done.
That's all you have to do. So even if you don't have a grudge match story, look at the rankings. It's a good Band-Aid.
I think what's keeping me back a little bit from being anticipated is I'm curious to see if Chris Statlander can hang in a high-profile match like this. To me, she's a bit untested.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, I'm in love right now with the lights off. I want to make sure that when I turn the lights on, that it's the same thing I saw before I turned them off. You know,
well, there's going to be a little bit of glowing,
just a little,
bioluminescence.
I came to be probed, not insulted. Probed and booped.
Maybe a little insulted later.
I've got Nyla winning, but I don't necessarily have Statlander losing. I think it's going to be one of those situations where maybe she passes out to a submission or she loses by count out or knockout or something that protects her. I don't see a typical 1-2-3 pinfall by Nyla for this match because, like you said, they're more even match. This isn't like Nyla against the pillow. Like she's actually gonna put some time on the time card for this one. So, but I got Nyla winning. I'd keep it on Nyla as long as possible right now.
Okay.
I'd keep that momentum going. Piss people off some more.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Jericho versus Moxley for the AEW Men's Championship. Where you at?
8.
Okay.
8. I think with Jericho, I like who he is right now. I like what he's become. He's a fucking master of reinvention. I get it. Blah blah blah. I still have that same feeling that it shouldn't have been him to be the first champ and to still be the champ. Because it still feels like, especially going up against a guy like Moxley, it still feels like WCW, where their stars that they're making, that's their flavor, are getting put on the back burner for the leftovers of the big boys. And yes, I don't think I'd feel like this if Jericho wasn't the champ. If Jericho was doing what Jericho was doing 5 years ago, coming back, putting all the other guys over, That's not what he's doing here. If that's what he was doing in AEW, where he's putting all the other guys over, it'd be a little bit different. But then again, he would be fighting for the championship. He'd be in the mid card or upper mid card, right? But since it's for the main title, there's an uneasiness about the fact that he is Le Champion. Is Le Champion a funny thing to say? It is. But I'm sure Jericho would come up with clever shit without the belt. And then if I look across the ring to the other guy I have the same problem with.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dean Ambrose. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, we could talk about Moxley and that it's Moxley and he left WWE so that he could, pursue AEW and this and that. And
AEW is where the big boys play.
Yeah, but it's still the guy that left who brought his star power to legitimize the other guys. It's like, no. You don't need to do that. Strategically, you don't need to do that. Build your own guys. You have enough guys. Bucks, Kenny, Cody, Hangman, now Darby that you've built. Pac has been away long enough that stink is off of him, so you could do Pac. But that stink is still on, for me, it's still on Jericho. It's still on Moxley. So I feel like this is a WWE Rejects Championship match. So I want to say that I'm at a 10 because of the storytelling and the fucking pirate eye patch stuff and the back and forth and how the inner circle has gotten the best of Moxley, but Moxley at some point has fought off all fucking 17 of them at one point in time, and now he's finally going to get Jericho one-on-one. All that is great, and I want to be at a 10, but I can't stop that smelling.
I'm at a 7.
Oh, I did not expect that from you. 7. Why so low?
You mentioned something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember quite fondly not really being a big fan of the Jericho versus Dean Ambrose matches when Dean had the Ambrose Asylum and the segment with the plant and Jericho with being the heel. Yeah. The matches I wasn't a big fan of.
I forgot about that feud.
I didn't.
Okay.
And then I see Dean's character in New Japan. Regular matches, but he's always got to do the hardcore stuff, which I don't mind, but it's leaving me uneasy of what we're at. And again, Dean's last high-profile match in AEW was a hardcore main event against Kenny Omega. So I'm not sure if Moxley can have a good wrestling match against Chris Jericho. Everything else has been fucking flawless, dude. Inner circle stuff, a little bit of the bubbly, taking the 4GT, defecting from the inner circle getting their revenge, Moxley picking them off one by one, finding unusual allies along the way. Moxley's right there, and then what the fuck's this old guy with the bodysuit? Wait a minute, what the fuck is this young kid looking like Two-Face? Well, fuck it, let's make it work. So he's like Darby, and a lot of why Darby and Dustin are getting a lot of the rub right now is because of the Moxley story,
right?
But if I'm just focusing with blinders on Moxley versus Jericho, match wise, I don't know if they're gonna if it's I don't know about how to say this. I don't know if it's main event worthy.
Ding.
Match, just the match from bell to bell. I don't know if that deserves to end the show.
Okay.
It's gonna. I'm gonna watch it. I'm paying for it, or I'm gonna pitch in and pay for it. So it's. Everything else has been good. I just want to see. I want to see them give me something to help me break that stigma, because I don't see. I'm getting towards the tail end of like the cleanse. Like I'm almost there. I don't see Jericho as a WCW guy. I don't see Jericho as a WWE guy because he's been doing his own thing to make himself different from everyone else. He's changed his character from what he did in WWE, from ECW, from WCW, everything. This is another new Jericho to me. Moxley so far, his Death Rider gimmick in New Japan has really sold me on being a completely different person. But Don Moxley and AEW just feels like Dean Ambrose with a new name. I need something to help me from both of their guys' perspectives to finally help me snap out of that. Oh shit, that's an AW guy and that's an AW guy. And I guess part of that is because I'm building the expectation up myself. Like I complained earlier about the fans with Chris Daniels, I'm kind of building it up for myself a little too high in my appreciation for the Death Rider gimmick that he's specifically doing in Japan. Because in that Japan environment, him doing the hardcore stuff under the Death Rider completely works. His shit with Archer was good. His shit with Robinson was good. His shit with Suzuki's good. Fuck, now him and Sabre are coming up. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But Moxley and AEW, I need something. I just need something.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'll know when I see it.
Okay.
Or when he does it or when he says it. But I'm almost there. So I'm at a 7.
Okay.
So
what do you got winning? See, that's a little hard for me too. I mean, the same argument I have against Jericho being the title holder is the same argument I'm going to have against Moxley being the title holder, except it's worse because it's the second one. That means 2 in a row are, in my mind, former WWE guys. So I kind of don't want Mox to win it. I want Jericho to lose it, but I don't want Jericho to lose it to Mox. I want Jericho to lose it to one of these indie guys that is making this company different and unique.
Here's the thing. I love that there's only like 4 or 5 pay-per-views a year so far for AEW. It's so easy for Jericho to win this Saturday, and then the main event is double or nothing. Either Moxley wins the title in the rematch or he doesn't get into the rematch while Jericho's champ.
Yeah.
And you can push that further. Meanwhile, you can build up the next face or the next heel to take it from Moxley or from Jericho. As the only problem is, I'm thinking it's going to be Jericho this Saturday, and it'll probably be Moxley later because during this run, Jericho had a great match on Dynamite against Darby Allin. He had a great match, 10-minute challenge against Jungle Boy. Yeah. He had a great match against Scorpio Sky. So again, he's doing the job that he's there to do. He's putting over the young guys. He's making sure that there's a business to leave behind for when he's gone. So, but is it too soon to see at the pay-per-view in Vegas or All In or All Out, whatever they're going to call it this year? Is it too soon to have another Jericho versus Jungle Boy for the main event? Or Jericho versus Scorpio? Or Jericho versus Darby?
It probably is too early for those guys. But remember who founded this fucking company? The Elite, the Bullet Club. When the fuck
Jericho versus Omega?
Yeah, or Cody, or
Cody. Well, Cody can't have it,
right? Cody can't, but they can find a creative way to renege on that, right?
I you know what?
Okay, you're trying to tell me that in the next year, in the first year, Kenny won't be the fucking champion?
It's part of business. Is that again? It
goes
exactly
back to part of the business. He was one of the biggest draws of the reason why All Out, All In, and all that shit was so big.
And a reason
because
why
of the popularity of Kenny that he got off of Okada.
And a reason why people will shit on the company if one of the presidents has the main title this soon.
I don't think so.
Not
at this
yet.
point.
Not yet. I think you need a couple more months, like 6 months. I think 2021.
Okay.
Every AEW will be set as the brand. Yeah. Then that's Kenny's. I could see a main event at All Out being Jon Moxley losing the title to MJF. As far as Jericho, Moxley, who's the next guy underneath that's ready? It's MJF. So
I don't know if he's ready in ring wise. He's ready character wise.
He's getting the reaction.
He's getting that heat. But in ring, I don't know.
Who's the next top heel other than Jericho?
Other than Jericho and MJF is Pac.
He's coming up.
Yeah.
He's definitely on the come up. I see that.
Yeah.
On the face side. After Moxley.
Kenny, Cody, Bucks, Darby. Jungle Boy.
You see the Bucks as singles trying to fight for the heavyweight title?
No.
So take them out.
Okay. So
what about Hangman?
Maybe. I don't know if he's gonna be face or heel. He could be a heel.
Dude, if that shit came around full circle and Jericho dropped the belt to Adam Page at this All Out,
That could
after
happen.
losing- oh, fuck.
That could happen.
Yeah. Overall,
I'm at a 10. I've got to see this show. Overall, I'm at a 10.
you watching live?
I'm gonna try to.
Whose house?
I think Foreman and Bacon's. I think.
Okay.
Not sure, but either way, I want to fucking see it. My weekend plans still aren't 100% finalized.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of concerning considering it's Thursday night. But yeah. I really want to see this.
Okay. I'm at 10.
Okay.
Yeah. It's my
Where is it?
Chicago
Chicago.
again.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Chicago in February. Ugh.
It's not that bad.
Cold as balls out there, man.
It could be worse. It could be flooding when there's not fucking rain. How about that? How the fuck about that?
Rain, no rain, flooding on a sunny day. That's the next title for one of your poems. Flooding on a sunny day.
Yeah.